For decades, really since the end of World War II, one military has pretty much set the standard for global power. But the real question isn't if it's dominant. I think we all know the answer to that. The question is how. How did it get here? Well, let's break that down. So what's the secret sauce? I mean, how did a single nation manage to build what is, by almost any measure, the most powerful military in modern history? That's exactly what we're going to get into today. And here's the thing. The answer isn't what you might expect from history books. It's not about conquering territory in the traditional sense. It's really a modern superpower built on a specific recipe: revolutionary technology, a really smart global strategy, and a worldwide presence that's just unmatched. We're going to dive into each of these pieces. All right, let's start with the most obvious one: sheer, overwhelming firepower. This is the stuff you see on the news, right? The jets, the ships. It's the foundation of America's ability to project its power, well, pretty much anywhere on the planet. And when we talk about having a truly global reach, the conversation really has to start on the water. It all begins with the US Navy. It's basically the engine that powers this entire machine. And check this out. This one statistic pretty much says it all. The United States operates a dominant majority of all the aircraft carriers in the entire world. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. That single fact completely changes the game when it comes to global power. So why is that such a huge deal? Well, because an aircraft carrier isn't just a big boat. It's literally a floating airbase. Think about it. You can project air power anywhere on the planet, respond to a crisis almost immediately, deliver massive amounts of humanitarian aid after a disaster, and help keep those vital international waters stable. To put it simply, wherever one of these carriers shows up, the world pays attention. Okay, so this dominance on the sea, it extends directly into the sky. When you look at the US Air Force, you're looking at one of the most technologically advanced air forces ever put together. I mean, you've got stealth aircraft like the F-22 and F-35 that are basically ghosts on radar. You've got long-range bombers that can take off in the US and hit a target on the other side of the world. And then there's the whole universe of unmanned drones. It's that mix, that combination of speed, stealth, and incredible precision that gives them control of the skies. But look, it's not all about the big, impressive hardware. And that brings us to our second key pillar: the technological edge. This is all about the intelligence, the innovation. You could call it the brains behind all that brawn. And this gets to a really critical question, right? Is being a superpower just about having the most powerful machines? The biggest ships? The fastest jets? And the answer is absolutely not. Because today, the real advantage isn't just the physical stuff, it's the information. It's this incredible constant cycle. You have global sensors, think satellites, drones, you name it, collecting massive amounts of data. Then you have intelligence agencies analyzing that data in real time, looking for risks and opportunities. And finally, that information fuels strategic action, whether it's a cyber unit responding to a threat or commanders making decisions on the ground. So where does all this amazing, cutting-edge technology actually come from? Well, it's fueled by this huge ecosystem of companies we call the defense industry. These are the designers, the engineers, the builders, the people who are constantly pushing the limits of what is technologically possible. And that relationship between the military and this industry is absolutely critical. It creates this constant loop of innovation. The whole point is to make sure the equipment isn't just modern and effective today, but that it's always one step ahead, ready to deal with the challenges of tomorrow. All right, that brings us to our third and final piece of the puzzle. And trust me, this one is just as important as the other two. We're talking about the global network. This is all about making power stronger through partnership. Yeah, this idea that the United States doesn't stand alone really gets to the core of it. If you think about superpowers throughout history, many of them operated alone. But modern American strategy is completely different. It's built on a foundation of cooperation. And the perfect example of this is NATO. I mean, take a look. While the US is obviously a huge part of the alliance, its strength is amplified, it's multiplied, because it's part of this massive collaborative team. It's all about shared goals and shared responsibility. So what does this global network actually look like on a day-to-day basis? Well, it's things like the big international alliances, like NATO. It's a network of bases all over the world. It's joint training programs and missions where different countries work together. It's even coordinated peacekeeping and humanitarian aid. Every single one of these things acts like a force multiplier, creating an influence that's way bigger than what any single country could manage on its own. And this isn't just some abstract military concept, it actually matters to all of us. This kind of global presence helps maintain stability around the world and protect the international trade routes that, honestly, our entire global economy relies on. The stuff you buy, the prices you pay, it's all connected. So, when you boil it all down, you get this kind of superpower equation. It's not just one thing, it's the combination of all three: overwhelming firepower, plus a cutting edge technological advantage, plus a huge global network. And really, when you look at the whole picture, it becomes clear that this isn't just a story about weapons and hardware. Real, lasting strength comes from something more. It's about strategy, it's about cooperation, and it's about the ability to lead on a global stage. And that kind of leaves us with one final big question. We live in a world where technology's changing at an incredible pace, where new global challenges are popping up all the time. This whole model of power we've been talking about, it's not static, it's constantly evolving. So it really makes you think, what is the future of global power even going to look like?